Hello, and welcome back to Strides, Season 2, Episode 5. In this episode, I really want to focus on building. Last time, we got started on the entrance to the Catacombs, and I think it turned out pretty darn cool. This week, as you can see, I've already started on the Catacombs themselves. And the plan is to basically just finish off a decent-sized section of this and build a home for the librarians, which is going to be down here in the Catacombs. It doesn't make any real sense, but it should look cool, and I mean, that's kind of the important part for me. So that's what we're going to do. To give you an idea of where it is that we actually are, here's the entrance to the Catacombs. We built this building last time, and as we come inside, we've got a fairly open space in here. Still needs to be decorated, but we'll get there. And there's the stairs. And I've extended them down a little bit farther here and then turned them off to the side. And even though, yes, I've got some texture on the walls, this is kind of just a placeholder. I am going to come back and decorate this more. Not going to be hugely fancy because, like this whole building, it's really just the entrance. But, you know, come down here, come down the stairs. And this is where I've been experimenting with what I think I might want the catacombs to look like. I am going to add a little bit more decoration, and of course the floor still has yet to be decided. But, you know, this is where we're starting. I've been doing a whole bunch of digging and experimenting and really just boring stuff that I didn't think you guys would find, you know, worth watching, really. So, yeah, let's just show where we are. This is what I'm thinking of for the floor. Now, it does have a bit of an issue because the andesite is slightly different color from the rest of the stone. So what I might have to do is bring more of the andesite up into here somehow. And I haven't quite decided how yet, but I'll think about it. There's two reasons why this is slabs instead of just full blocks. The first is, I mean, watch this. I can walk around, get a good idea of the speed, and then as soon as I step on here, zoom! I put soul soil underneath all of these. If you have soul speed 3 on your boots, when you stand on this, you still get that soul speed up, even though there's other slabs in between you and the actual soul soil. So it just means that we'll be able to move around in here a whole lot faster, which I'm a fan of. The other reason that I wanted to have slabs and stairs instead of full blocks has to do with lighting. I mean, I've got the lighting turned way up so that we can see, but even without that, it's brighter than what I was hoping for. I almost want this to be full darkness, not quite, but close. Like when you're just walking around in here, it should feel pretty dark. That's the vibe I'm going for. We bring the brightness way down. Yeah, I think this is giving us kind of the effect that I wanted, which is, hey, this is super dark and kind of spooky. It should feel like, you know, something could jump out at you at any moment. For now, though, I'm going to turn the brightness back up just because this is cool, but it's a little bit dark for a video. I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. I thought it might be interesting to just very quickly go through together how I build one of these sections in case anybody wants to copy the design. It's not a fancy design. It just kind of looks like it might be fancy because it's got just enough depth and everything going on. So, each of these sections, there's 5 empty spaces in between the pillars. The sections are 6 blocks tall altogether. The first thing I want to do is put the stairs across the bottom and the top. Just like that. Next thing I'm going to do is fill in the posts basically here, just like this one. The next thing to do is build a 3x3 section of wall, starting with that, coming over 2 blocks, fill that in. And next, we're going to put some inverted stairs just along here. So let's see what that looks like. Now we've got that ledge that we put the candles on. We're going to add some inverted stairs here. Then we add some walls along here and here. The only thing we have left to do now is to throw in some candles and light them. That's basically it. It's a really simple pattern, but because it's got just a little bit of detail to it, it works. It looks like it's fancy or something. Well, I hope this was useful. I don't tend to do sort of build tutorial type stuff just because I assume that nobody is particularly watching my stuff to get those, but it is kind of fun to go through. So if anybody really wants some of that, let me know. I'd be happy to mix in some of that kind of stuff. I've been thinking about how I want to decorate this area. And I've also been thinking about where I want to put the portal, because the portal is currently over that way a little bit. And it's in kind of a weird spot. So I wanted to move it down into the catacombs. Originally, I was going to have it in its own little room down at the end there. But then when somebody comes through the portal, they have to come all the way down this hallway and then up the stairs and then up those stairs. And it's not the longest trip ever, but it's also fairly inconvenient. So what I was thinking instead is putting it right here. Now, there is a disadvantage to putting it here, which is it's still going to be close enough to the surface that you'll be able to hear the portal noises, but the only place you'll hear it would be right about here. And there's not really going to be any reason to come in here, so it won't matter very much. And here's the finished portal area. I ended up building a little frame around it just to make it feel like it really belonged in the space a bit more, as opposed to just being this random thing that was there. And then I mirrored that on this wall, but just obviously a blank wall back there, just to give it some more character. I did experiment with the floor a bit. I think I'm going to leave it like this, but I may change it in the future. We will see. Then I continued down the walls here along the stairs. It's not very fancy, and I'm probably going to want to change it later. It's just mixing in stone bricks with the stone. But before, what was happening was when it was all stone, it just felt distracting because it was so different from everything else. This at least isn't actively distracting. It's a little flat and boring, but it doesn't take you out of the build. Whereas when it was all stone, it took you out of the experience. It just didn't feel right. So I wanted to stop that, and I did. And here we are. You know what? We have done a lot of building, and we've got a lot more to go. But I need to take a little bit of a break from building and have some fun. And, maybe mess with some people a bit.
I like this build, dude. Like, when I came out of it, it was so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I came out of your portal.
Yeah, it's, I still want to do some decoration and stuff, but...
What was that? I heard something.
What was what?
I thought I heard a weird sound.
You summoned me to come here for... The hell? What was that?
That is a spooky noise.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, going good. Oh, what? What's that?
Who's what?
Whoa.
Sorry, I'm a little sick.
Oh dear. I'm sorry. I hope you feel better soon.
It's alright. What?
What?
You don't hear that random Matt.
You're telling me you can't... What's going on? Oh.
You didn't hear that noise?
There is a sound?
Yes, that noise.
There is a noise. And it's a very spooky noise. I don't really know how to describe it. I like an explosion or something.
That sound. Whatever that sound is, what is that?
There is a sound?
There's a sound. What is that sound? What is it?
Oh! Wait, is there no block underneath here?
I have a doorbell.
A doorbell.
Yes. But it's kind of flaky.
And you want it to sound and you want it to sound like that.
Yes. Here, I'll show you.
What is that? Oh.
And I've got it hooked up to a skulk sensor and a randomizer. So it's got a 1 in 4
only
chance of
works
going off.
sometimes.
Yeah. Just to make it nice and random.
Oh my. That is awesome.
I've been having fun getting people to come over and then, acting all innocent when weird noises happen.
That's cool.
And I've got it rigged up so that if I want to turn it off, which, most of the time I want to turn it off,
Yeah.
I just put a single item in the dropper.
Right. Oh, and there's a bunch of other droppers, so you can't tell. Oh, that's smart.
Thank you. The plan for this episode had been to build the library, but once I sat down and actually designed it, it was a lot bigger than I had expected it to be. And it's going to take quite a while, and it's going to take a lot of resources that I don't currently have. So rather than making you wait an extra, several weeks to get an episode, I figured I would go ahead and wrap this one up here with one extra thing I want to do first, which is solving a problem that I kept running into. See, the library entrance is kind of under where I put these stables for my horse. But every time I wanted something from my storage, I had to go running all the way back over there, come up the stairs, then come all the way here to my storage, grab whatever it was, run all the way back to there, down the stairs, and then back down the hallway most of the way back here, which seemed like a lot of extra work and hassle. So I thought it would make sense to add an entrance over here somewhere. Now, I've been thinking that I would like to put a house somewhere around here. And it's going to be a couple stories, and there's going to be sort of an extension on the house kind of coming off the side here. And I thought, okay, that's great, because I can just put, a stairwell down from the house. But I am just not in the mood to design a house. I don't feel like it. And then I thought, if I make a secret door, I don't have to design a house. So I'm going to think about how I want to do this. Okay, I have made a plan. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Let's change this to this, which doesn't look any different, but did I make it through? Barely. Hello. Now, this doesn't actually go anywhere. It's just an empty little room. So you might be thinking there's not much point to being here, but you'd be wrong. Well, I mean, right now you're right. So, congratulations. But we are going to fix this. Here we are at the very end of the first Catacombs tunnel. I could continue it this way quite a bit farther if I wanted, but I think it makes sense to have that initial tunnel be limited in some way. Right here is directly under the block where we go into our secret door. So what I'm going to do is have a hidden staircase here going up. And this is going to be decorated to look basically like a little, not exactly a shrine, but a little memorial sort of thing. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but we're just going to use the typical painting trick because I don't really feel like doing another secret, 1x2 door. They're not hard to do, but figuring out where to put all the redstone is kind of a pain in the neck. And I don't have very much slime, and I'm saving it for a different project. So yeah, we're just going to use the painting trick. So I'm going to decorate this, and we'll be right back. And here is the end of the tunnel now that it's all decorated. I ended up putting a bunch of paintings in other places as well, just to sort of hide the fact that, you know, when that was the only place down here that had paintings on the wall, it was extra obvious. It's still pretty obvious, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. To get in, it's the usual trick. Just have some signs on there. So once you come in here, we've got a couple signs, and honestly, the main reason for this sign was just so I could place this banner against it. And the banner isn't really intended to disguise anything. It's just, I wanted to have a quicker way to go up and down than the stairs, because the stairs look cool. I mean, they look fine anyway, but they're also kind of boring and they take a while. So I wanted to have a water elevator, but it doesn't look like it really fits with everything else. So this is just kind of to hide it a bit. Anyways, we've got the water elevator. Come up here. We've got the stairs down. And we can just run outside. I am pretty happy with how this turned out. It's not the fanciest thing ever, but that's okay. It really didn't even need to be a secret entrance in the first place, but there's two reasons why I did it that way. First, I think secret entrances are cool. Like, woo, look at this, there's a secret area. And second, I wanted a way to get in and out of the catacombs over here fairly quickly, but I couldn't think of anything that would work design-wise. So I figured, hey, if I make it secret, then I don't have to worry about how it looks. Before we leave, I just wanted to show a little bit of a contrast between full brightness, which is what I've got this at. It's as bright as I can make the shader pack go, which I think looks pretty cool. And then I want to show what it looks like at normal brightness. This is at normal brightness. I'm going to leave it off with the insanity shaders, so you'll see that in just a second. But first, let's turn the brightness back up. I just thought it would be nice to be able to, see things while we say goodbye. I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you, as always, for hanging out with me. And I'd love to know what you guys think we should be putting down here in the catacombs. I like the hallways, but I want some rooms off of there, like the library is going to be next episode. And I want the library is going to be a lot of like brick and jungle wood and bookshelves and quartz, and it's a fairly bright and colorful space. Because as much as I like the sort of gloomy look of these corridors, it gets really boring after a little while. So I want to add some variety to it. And I'd love to know what you guys think we should be adding. Thanks for hanging out. Remember to look after yourselves. And no matter how much these look like candies and how much the words sound like they should be the same, candles, not candies. Now I'm going to leave you with the really spooky shader pack. Thanks for watching. Bye.